Hey guys, today we're going to talk about first big news today. The war over Delta 8 THC continues, and in Texas there was a ban on the entire thing through the Department of State Health Services. There were some lawsuits that were sent towards them because they were saying that it was too quick and there were harming businesses through this ban. The first judge who heard the case dismissed it. The second judge who heard the case ruled that the state regulators would be temporarily prohibited from enforcing a ban against the sale of Delta 8. Temporarily prohibited is the main word there, because Texas is a place where this is probably not going to hold up for a long time. They seem adamant that Delta 8 will be a thing that is not allowed in the state, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. However, for now, they can go back to selling Delta 8. Across the country, it's a weird landscape. Some states are allowing it, some states are not. The federal government is specifically saying it is legal, it is okay to have, because it is not the Delta 9 THC that is the one that is specifically illegal. Everything else, because the Farm Bill was made legal through the hemp Farm Bill. So yeah, if you're in Texas right now, you can go and get some Delta 8 and hurry up before they ban it again, because they probably will soon. Main story today is about a study way back in August in Israel that was about pain patients, non-cancer pain patients, but pain patients that were starting on the baseline of opioids and then were given medical cannabis. And of those people who were given medical cannabis, if you're starting with opioids, 93% of them were off opioids because of the cannabis, and then they started just using the cannabis, so it became a substitution. But 93% is a very large number. The question then is marijuana the solution to our opioid epidemic? And I strongly believe that it is not. I don't think that this study really is saying anything about the power of marijuana. I think what it's saying is there's more of a complexity with addiction than just like one pill is going to make people completely addicted. If that were the case, Vicodin and Xanax and all of these things would not be around at all. There's actually a really interesting TED Talk from 2015 by, what's his name, Johann Hari, who talks about this exact thing. He brings up examples of the past. We've all heard the stories of the Vietnam soldiers who were using heroin heavily in Vietnam while they were at war, and then when they came home, they just stopped and it was fine. And there was no withdrawal symptoms or anything like that. So then it makes you think that there's maybe a bit more of a nuanced version of what this addiction could be. Again, if it was just needing the drug, they would all have been in dire trouble. And here's a clip from that TED Talk. I recommend watching the whole thing, but here's just a little bit.
Yeah, I've got over by my seat there a bottle of water, right? I'm looking at lots of you, and lots of you have bottles of water with you, right? Forget drugs, forget the drug war. Totally legally, all of those bottles of water could be bottles of vodka, right? We could all be getting drunk, I might after this. But we're not, right? Now, because you've been able to afford the approximately £1 gazillion that it costs to get into a TED Talk, I'm guessing you guys could afford to be drinking vodka for the next 6 months. You wouldn't end up homeless. You're not going to do that. And the reason you're not going to do that is not because anyone's stopping you. It's because you've got bonds and connections that you want to be present for. You've got work you love, you've got people you love, you've got healthy relationships. And a core part of addiction, I came to think, and I believe the evidence suggests, is about not being able to bear to be present in your life.
His thesis is really saying the opposite of addiction is connection. So as long as you feel connected to your society or connected to people or connected to something other than a drug, you will not have that addiction, or it won't be as strong. There are, of course, other factors too. I feel like even that is a bit more simplified than it really is. I think the idea of addiction with a specific environment is another strong thing. Say you go away to a different state and then you come back, that addiction is kind of represented by that place that you come back to. That's another strong thing. Anyway, the point of this whole thing is that addiction itself is extremely complex, and we have to look at it that way, and we can't look at it as saying there's one way to fix this whole thing. I mean, it's such a large and important thing, and getting more and more important each year, because this year, March 2021, that's the most recent data that I have seen, was the deadliest year for overdoses we've ever seen. That's crazy to think about, and it's still going up. And a lot of this is due to the pandemic, but also, I mean, we're gonna see this lasting long after the pandemic, I think, unless something drastic happens. Point is, medical marijuana is one tool to fight the addiction of opioids. It is not the only tool. It may be a strong tool. It may be something that we should continue looking into, but it is not a miracle thing. It's not going to fix this just single-handedly. So while the study is great, while the study shows that substitution is actually a really powerful thing, it's not the only thing. And that's that. That's what we have today. We'll be back on Wednesday with more stories. You'll see them.
What do you mean you're not ready? Jesse! Put it under there! Put it under there! Under there! Bro, are you serious?